I thought, we were just going to have like a solution to our problem.
Hey, man, Danny Nick's probably ease up on him, all right? Look, he's shaking. He feels badly.
I don't think I did this.
Why wouldn't he?
I don't think I did this. I think this might have been like a natural thing. Do you guys ever hear of the Tunguska Explosion?
No, I haven't.
What is that?
In the early 1900s, in Siberia, in a remote part of Siberia, there were a few eyewitnesses, but mostly it was something that was felt in the area. On the morning of, it was a summer morning in June, a flaming ball was seen screaming across the sky, and shortly thereafter, a giant explosion. Someone who was 40 miles away from what later was determined to be sort of the epicenter of the impact said he was sitting on his porch, was thrown completely, essentially over his house. He was thrown violently from his porch. He said his shirt essentially caught fire, and he had no idea. He thought it was the end of the world. He didn't understand what was going on. He was hanging out, chilling, and then all of a sudden, boom, and he gets thrown off of his porch. His shirt's on fire. He can't explain what's going on.
Damn.
Right, this is like a bad morning for this man, right?
Or he's like, this is way better than the laser light show at the planetarium that I go to. It's totally better.
I should have got high for this. I messed up this morning.
It's like one of those old vaudeville tropes where he just looks at the triple X bottle and just breaks it and says, never again.
No more. So this was the shockwaves from this explosion or this event were felt all the way in England, and this was something that happened in remote Siberia.
Really?
Damn.
How so? Just like shockwaves?
Right. They said they felt essentially what would be like the tremors or the shockwaves, the after effect of like an earthquake.
Someone spilled some tea.
Just right. It was,
that's a little unusual.
It's 1908. I wonder what happened.
Is that what people in 1908 said?
Yeah. Well, this was before science, right?
That was a spot on ad lib, man.
Thank you. This is 1908. What happened? So yeah, it was extremely devastating to the area. A 2,100 square kilometer area.
Speak American.
How many miles? 770 square miles.
Whoa! Wow, really?
Right. Okay, now I'm impressed.
Yeah.
When you were saying all that Nazi commie crap, I had no idea you were saying. But now when you speak American, I am shocked.
Let me just apologize to our international community. We are Americans, okay? So
we don't add so good.
So 770 square miles of flattened trees, dead wildlife, and just destruction. And this is in 1908. So we're talking before any nuclear, atomic age type of weaponry could have been developed. This is something that the devastation is completely unheard of, right? For obviously this is 1908. It's Siberia. There is slim science budget for them to go out and sort of explore this area.
Don't you think you'd allocate a little extra funds when just a giant area is devastated for no reason? Don't you want to find about this?
It's 1908. What funds? What are you talking about? Where are they getting the funds?
$11 and Richard bought a water. Thanks, Richard. Now we have $10.25.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Richard bought a water.
I'm sorry, I'm so thirsty.
People described a weird, force or some type of tremor or something like that happening in really sort of remote places that wouldn't have had any knowledge of something hitting this area of Russia. So naturally, everyone wants to know, what was it? They didn't actually get out to the site because it was so remote for like 15 years. It was It was like the 1920s when they finally were able to get like a full scientific crew out to do some analysis and things like that.
Russia's huge.
It is.
So massive.
Right, and I mean, like at that time, the ability for them to get that kind of equipment and stuff out there was probably extremely
15
limited.
15 years?
Well,
That's
I heard
crazy.
that legs weren't invented until 1926.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Well, good walking shoes probably a little bit after that. So obviously, this was a huge, mystery during this time, right? Like people wanted to know what caused this explosion. A lot
For
of
sure,
people,
yeah.
It's largely attributed to currently and at the time they thought this is a meteor. This is some type of comet or something. So they were looking for the crater. They were looking for the impact. They wanted to find out where this hit. And there's a lake in the area right around the sort of the epicenter. And they assumed, they're like, okay, well, this is the lake that was caused by this.
This was 15 years ago.
Right. Exactly. Right. Like they didn't have a way to get there quick enough to do any like immediate sort of analysis.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the accepted theory for a long time. What they said it performed what would be called an airburst. Part of it never actually hit the Earth, but actually exploded above.
Yeah, it's when basically a large shell explodes, so the compression blast is what you're getting the most damage from.
And that's part of the mother of all bombs. As part of that is air blasting. And one of the most terrifying things is it sucks the oxygen out of the area too. So before the devastation happens, you're suffocating.
Yeah.
So you die in even more terror. Human beings are awesome.
So the estimated energy for this blast, just based on the sort of damage that it inflicted on the area, they say it's anywhere between 15 and 30 megatons of TNT.
Jeez.
Which, to put it in perspective, 15 megatons is 1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima.
Whoa!
And no one knows where it came from.
Correct, right. So the largely sort of accepted scientific explanation for this for a long time was it had to have been a meteor. It definitely is a meteor. Obviously, people had conspiracy theories. Maybe there was early testing of nuclear bombs or something that maybe someone...
But wouldn't you think, you were saying specifically that trees were flattened. They weren't incinerated. They weren't blown out of their stemming. They were flattened.
Correct.
Good call.
That's true.
And this, another way that they were able to determine the epicenter was the fact that the trees were all flattened in a certain direction. So, like, this thing hit in one place, and they all flattened away from it.
And so, have they gone into the lake? Have they dove into it?
So, yes, actually, this is the where it gets a little creepy. Is last year there was some analysis done on the sediment.
Last year?
Last year. They went out and they did some more. They've been testing this area for a really long time now. It's a sort of a scientific anomaly and a mystery. They went out last year, did some testing on the lake bed, and they found out that it was actually not created by the impact from that time period. That it is actually newer than that. So the commonly accepted idea that this was a giant meteor that hit and created this impact crater, and it's sort of got debunked early last year. So they're still trying to figure out.
Was it Mythbusters? Did they do it?
They went out there and
Adam, the guys go out there
and created 1,000 megaton bomb. And
he goes, look at this! This one phone book can hoist me 30 feet in the air.
Buy your real estate now.
So that is this recent sort of exploration into this ancient, I guess, 100-year-old mystery of what happened in Russia, and there are some crazy conspiracy theories out there. I won't, give life to any of them, but
come on,
give us a couple.
Little taste.
Give us a little taste.
I mean, so
I have to hear this.
Aliens.
Okay, of course.
Right.
I'm not saying it's aliens,
but it's
totally aliens.
Yeah, it's probably aliens.
Another one was that I guess what you would call the Uber government or the Illuminati had access to nuclear weapons before.
But you can Uber nuclear weapons now?
The technology's been around since 1908.
It's the executive washroom for the Rothschilds.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we have a giant leg to watch.
Try that a little commission.
Yeah.